Welcome everyone, this is the Combi Dog channel and my name is Jonathan. My wife Marissa and I set out to build an off-grid cabin in the mountains of north central Idaho, and we had a list of things we wanted in this property. First off, we wanted year-round water, whether that be a lake or river or stream. We ended up with this creek, about 1,500 feet of it. And while all of our wish list didn't get made, we wanted a view, we wanted flat land to build on, which really don't go well together, and we wanted southern exposure. Well, we got the view, we got the river, but we fell short on a few of other things. So the property is pretty steep. It's about, the top of it goes about 400 feet above the creek. This was the first place we looked at to build a old logging landing from when this was logged, probably, who knows, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, don't know. But this was the first site we looked at, and we thought we would take out some trees, make a level pad, but we got to where we're just going to have to take out too many trees, both to make the pad and a bunch others to create the view. And this was probably about halfway up the hill. But with that being said, you know, which just happened to take out too many trees and it was still really not ideal, we ended up going with another choice up on top of the hill, the very top. This is it coming into yet another log landing, which there's about a half a dozen of on the property, which is a total of about 18.5 acres. And this actually is not as wide as it looks. I had to do a 3, maybe even 4-point turnaround with my truck when I pulled in here just to turn around and get back out. But what a view. This is late August, so it's kind of dried out, but it's still a spectacular view. This is kind of up on top of that landing where we thought this is where we start cutting the mountain down, leveling it out below, and then pushing further off, further down the hill. So yeah, this is where we decided to build a house where both my wife and the puppy and myself agreed this was the best place. But we had another problem that we discovered shortly on, that this is very rocky terrain, and it ended up we were going to need to blast it out, which logistically seemed quite complicated, or get a dozer in. We ended up going with the dozer, but that was a problem too because of our bridge that you have to cross. Just can't handle the weight of it. We did a lot of looking around and finally were able to get permission to drive a D6 through the water. The water up here in north central Idaho is very protected, so it was not trivial to get that permission. We had to take before and after photos of the bank, and had it been any other time of year, we probably would not have been able to do it. The water was shallow in late August, and right there by the bridge was a very solid rock bottom, and that's how we were able to get permission. We actually originally wanted to get a D8, or thought we should get a D8, but there were other bridges that a D8 couldn't even cross over. So we had to settle with the D6 and just hoping for the best. Sped this up a little bit as the dozer had to come about a mile from the bridge up to our property. And first order of business is take out this stump, which proved to be no problem. The question was, once you got through the top layer of topsoil, how would it do with the rock? Okay, so soil's not a problem. I gotta tell you, this thing could move a lot of dirt. It really could. It has 3 rippers on the back. I really kind of expected him to take 2 off and just use a single for as hard as this rock, which in the end he actually did, although most of the excavating he did with the blade. And here we are. This is rock. This is crumbling rock, basalt rock that a mini excavator that we started with couldn't handle at all. This dozer busted through that rock and turned it into generally 3-inch or smaller pieces, some larger, some smaller, but it was pretty amazing. That now this is just dust kicking up in front of it, but there were times when it got into this hard stuff, there was smoke coming out of between the blade and the rock. It was so hard and so much friction. I'm going to speed this way up because he'd spent about almost 4 days leveling this pad. So just go into hyperdrive to show you what this D6 did with this rock. It's pretty amazing. Sadly, we did still end up taking out about 20 pine trees and dozens of these, I'm not sure what kind they are, what varietal, but these little yellow plum trees, which the plums are really quite delicious. Fortunately, there's a lot more of them on the property. Did really hate to take out those pine trees, but you know, you really want kind of that fire break anyway. And frankly, we just had to come up with enough dirt to fill in this one little natural ravine and just to get the size of pad we wanted. And in the end, we got a pad that's, I don't know exactly how big it is because it's kind of an odd shape, a little hard to figure out, but we guesstimate that it's somewhere between 1/2 and 3/4 of an acre when it's all said and done. There you've seen some of that smoke coming off of his rear tines. Now for comparison, this is Marissa standing up on top of the pad before we started working on it. This is a blue dot from another angle showing where she was at. And this is the finished grade with a blue dot where she's at. What a remarkable difference. We estimate that it took out about 5,000 yards of dirt, or moved 5,000 yards of dirt. Well, our next step is to drill a well and put in a septic system, so hopefully you'll join us for that. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like, and we hope to see you soon. Until then, stay safe and keep building your dreams.